Hi fellow flowers, Violet here and welcome back to another lanyard video. Today we're going to be going through a couple of the different stitches and designs that you can make with lanyards. Let's jump right into it. This first lanyard takes 2 strings and is springy and boingy, and that is the butterfly stitch. Next, we have a simple yet still impressive lanyard. This is called the zipper stitch, and it takes 3 pieces of string, although you can use more, and that will get you into like a basket weaving pretty much. This is the Cobra lanyard, and this one is, I'd say, also a beginner-friendly lanyard, and it's a super cute little animal that you can make. Next is the triangle box stitch. So this is only 3 strings, and you can see that I've added some pony beads to it. And then you can compare that to the twisted triangle, which is orange, black, and then the black with the teal stripe. Now this next one is the traditional box stitch, and this is what most people think of when they hear that I have a YouTube channel where I show people how to make these things. And maybe if they were ever just like the littlest bit of curious, maybe they learned how to make the circle stitch. But what I found is that this is pretty much where most people stop making lanyards. So go ahead and give yourself a thumbs up if you've made any of these next couple of stitches, because I'd say you're probably already in like the top 1% of lanyard makers. But there you have it. That one is the circle stitch. This next one is the helicopter, and this uses the box stitch, but you pretty much flip the whole lanyard upside down and weave it in the opposite direction over itself to get that cute little effect. And that stitch is what inspired the sandworm stitch, where you do stitches in the right direction and then every once in a while you flip it upside down and do it the other way, and you get kind of this cool lacing effect. Now after that we have the brick stitch, where on the bottom here you can see that there are 2 strings on the bottom and then there is 1 main string. You might be able to see it a little bit better on the neck of this guitar lanyard. Next up is the twist version of that stitch. So again, there are 2 strings on the side and then there's 1 on the main, and the blue and red, oh my goodness, the blue and green are the side, and then the yellow is the main string. So again, a fun and impressive lanyard as long as you know the colors of the rainbow. This one is the this is where you twist the strings around that same lanyard. So this is like the wrapping strings technique. I think I have a super old video on this, but I definitely need to update that video. Our next lanyard uses those same techniques of the brick stitch and then the box stitch, and just kind of combines those to make the heart. And this was always a favorite of mine to make on Mother's Day or Valentine's Day. You can use the twist techniques on this as well, and it's just super cute. Now for the next lanyard, I have the corkscrew for you, and this is where you have 3 strings on the side and 1 string on the main. This next one I learned how to make from a video by Lanyards. I'll post a link down to his channel below because he has some really incredible crafts. But you're alternating the main string on this one to get kind of this cool camouflage sort of effect. And then the next lanyard that I have for you is, again, another corkscrew stitch, but I added perler beads and then framed the beads using the main string. So just another idea of what you can make with that stitch. Follow that with the tornado zigzag. And this is like the quad stitch. So you have 2 strings on your main, 2 strings on the side. And this is the lanyard that actually inspired the zebra stitch, which is a stitch that I invented. And this is where you have the black and the white kind of swap-swapped. So that way they're alternating along the side, giving this really fun effect. And I used orange and black on another one to make the tiger stitch as well. But these are all technically quads. So just some different ideas of color patterns that you can make with those. Next up is a crazy super zigzag. This has 5 strings on the side and 1 string on the main. Then here is the straight version of that, but I added kind of like a wall break. And then using the same number of strings, so 5 on the side, 1 on the main, I made this braided wall. And you can make this longer so you can like actually see the braid, but I think I ran out of string on that one. Next up is this kind of super rocket ship where I started with the circle stitch and then went into a twist, then into a quad, and then into 3x3, and then I split it up to make it look kind of like an exhaust. The next one is fluted columns. So you have 2 main strings and then 4 on the sides. It's really impressive. It does take a little while to make, so I'd say that's like an intermediate stitch. Another intermediate, maybe expert stitch is the turtle lanyard, which uses 8 pieces of string, but you're using the box stitch the entire time. It's definitely a showstopper, and I'm actually working on the pattern for this now, so that'll be available on my website in the coming weeks. Next up is the super zebra. So this one, I'm going in no particular order here. This one has 4 strings on the side and just 1 on the main, and this is made with vegan leather cord instead of Rex lace. Next up is this 16 string wall lanyard that I must have made in like the 6th grade or something like that. I've had this thing forever. As I mentioned, it's 16 strings, so 15 on the side, 1 on the main, and it starts all as like 1 straight wall, and then it breaks up into 5 separate lanyards, and then gets rejoined into 3, so you'll see at the top of this one, they come together and then goes all like back together into 1. Now I'm following this up with the lanyard guitar, which is again kind of one of those intermediate or expert projects. It requires adding strings and removing strings rather quickly so that you get a curving effect with the string. But yeah, this one is one of my original designs, and I actually made it for my dad on Father's Day one year. Now moving on to the pentagon lanyard. This is a straight scuba tunnel stitch. So the scuba tunnel is essentially as many sides as you want it, but the idea is that the sides are all connected together. So this is a straight stitch, and then I also have here to show you, this is the twisted scuba tunnel. So this one is more of a rectangle. You'll see I only have 1 string on 2 of the sides, and then the other have like 3 strings. And that's twisted, and then this is the zigzag scuba tunnel, and this is a smaller one. So this is probably the simplest scuba tunnel you can do because there's only 1 string on each of the sides plus the main strings, of course. But yeah, just to show you, those are the 3 different types of scuba tunnels that you can make. Now that pretty much wraps it up. If you're interested in purchasing any Rex lace or vegan leather to try and make any of these lanyards yourself, you can check out the description box below for some different sources of string. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Keep blooming, and I will catch you guys in the next one because there are definitely so many more lanyards that we can cover. So comment down below with what I should include in the next one. Thanks, and bye.